joined right now by Rich Olson from Olson Family Farms. And Rich, you're known for farming for dairy and everything like that, but now you're farming solar power. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're going to farm the sun. In our area, not that far away, there are solar fields of massive hundreds of acres of solar panels. This is not that. This is enough solar panels for us to provide for our own, and we're not out to produce a profit by producing solar energy. We're just producing for our own needs. And so there aren't too many other farms in this situation where they're only producing their own solar needs. The idea came up when we started talking about using solar panels to utilize solar energy, and originally we kind of thought about putting it on the barn roofs, and it changed our mind when we thought about the weight and the snow load and et cetera. And we had this spot real close to our electrical entrance, and kind of a too small of a field to really call a field, but it was something that we had to keep cut, and so we thought this was really a good place to make better use of this land. Over the course of a year, it'll produce 98% of our farm's needs. We'll produce, of course, more in the summer with longer days than the shorter days of winter, and we produce more during the day and we don't produce any at night. So it actually, our energy goes back to the grid, and so we are basically selling power sort of during the day and buying power back at night. I'm sure that every generation has done something that the previous generation was like, you gotta be kidding. And well, we're still doing it today. And I'm sure the next generation will do things that we thought weren't possible too. And well, that's kind of what makes life fun.
How important has it been to you and your family to always kind of stay maybe a step ahead of the trends and things like that, and maybe introduce some of these things to the area, and maybe even potentially inspire other farmers to try something similar?
It kind of keeps life exciting to try something new and not always be following, but sometimes leading. And honestly, not everything we've ever done has worked out. There have been things along the way that, well, they didn't pan out, but unless you try something, you'll never know. We've always taken like the calculated risk of what we think should work, and most of the times it has. But we're kind of happy about having this happening. We're using more cover cropping and more, we actually did some interseeding. We planted in between the rows of our cornfields to produce a cover crop that once the corn is harvested, the cover crops remain after the corn is harvested. Going back, my grandfather and his brother, they had one of the first rubber-tired tractors, and the neighbors would actually come by and kind of just stand and watch, because they kind of thought the tractors would bounce across the field rather than the steel wheels that everybody else had. The rubber tires were a new innovation at the time. We had one of the first four-wheel drive tractors in the county. We didn't have the first, but we had one of the first. So we always try things that we think will make our life better, and most of the time it's worked out. We only get one Earth, and so everything that we can do every day to try and make the soil better, make better use of what we're given to use, we're just trying to do the best for our environment. And by producing our own energy, that's just one more piece of how we can be better stewards of the land that we're given to use.